Program comes in 4-3 overall. The Britons have had an interesting season. They've won 4 and lost 3. Will they end this game 500? We'll find out as they take on the 6-1 Firebirds of Carthage College. They started with 2 wins on the season before losing to Hope College in a close 13-11 loss the 4th of March. After that, a 4-game win streak, all mostly of convincing fashion, scoring 20-plus goals in 3 out of those 4 wins and scoring 17 against Dubuque on the 19th. So as you see, the home Firebirds wearing the whites with red numbers and letters in black trim. The visiting Britons wearing the purple jerseys with gold numbers and letters and white trim. So you may ask yourself, Lacrosse, this weather, talk us through it. Well, there is an option to possibly play tomorrow, possibly play it later today. But with all the weather forecasting that happened, if it happened tomorrow, how bad would conditions have gotten throughout the day and overnight? Yes, it is the conditions are not ideal right now, but they're the most playable at this time before they just had to cancel the game. So they are playing with the orange lacrosse ball, as you may or may not be able to see. Easier for the players to spot on the field. So we're glad you're joining us here on the Firebird Broadcasting Network. So face-off was won by the Firebirds. We talked about the recent streaks of this Albion squad, having won 4 and lost 3. So the most recent 3 losses, a close loss to Worcester, 15-17, a close loss to Elmhurst, 20-17, and then not as close to Kenyon, 17-8. So Albion looking to get back on their winning ways, as that one will bounce out of action. There are some staff members and volunteers and students you can probably see off in the distance to track down the orange lacrosse balls. But nonetheless, we are excited to be here. There are quite a few fans in the crowd. This is one of those type of games where you could say, I was there. I was at the Carthage Albion game, where just north of here, 5+ inches of snow. The grounds crew, as you can see in the distance, having done a tremendous job cleaning off the field as Albion comes away with a save. But the reason I want to commend the crew is it's not just, okay, we want to get the game in and we want to play it at a regularly scheduled time. It's they got the conditions and the field ready for play. So whether there's snow on the ground or not, the field is as good as it could be at this day and time, should there have been snow or not. No snow on the field, so they could play on, and they can score. So first goal of the afternoon scored by none other than number 41, Colin Poitras, the senior from Winnipeg, Manitoba. One of the shining spots for this Carthage squad, as he is able to deliver a beautiful 26th goal of the season to give the Firebirds a quick 1-0 lead. Just like that, with a deep breath in and out, Albion answers right back. So we talked about how this Albion squad, even in defeat, scored 15, 17, and 8. So they have the capabilities to score. As we see it right there, tying it at 1 apiece is Jace Connolly with the assist by Eddie Simons. So Connolly gets his first goal. Connolly, the goal leader for Albion, gets his 20th goal. And face-off going to be taken away by the Firebirds. So possession will sit with, of course, number 30, Ben Kroc. Alec Gurn, the reigning CCIW Offensive Player of the Week. So it should be a very fun non-conference matchup for these two squads. The Brits out of Albion, Michigan, shot up just over the crossbar. Possession, because Andrew Johnson was back on the spot, will stay with Carthage. Shot in. Oh, bounced up in the air and over the cage. So Gagonis is who is starting in goal and already having some stellar saves. Gagonis' 8th start of the year. And just having a save fest defensively for both squads. Starting in goal, however, for Carthage, bit of a switch up. Instead of Williamson, it's going to be number 25, Josiah Gartner. So Gartner now with his 6th start. He had 8 saves coming into today. So, again, when you have a non-conference matchup, you want to try to get some players just that little bit more playing time. Also, trying to try out things in different conditions that they may not have been used to. Otherwise, Gartner out of Wheaton Academy High School. Wheaton, a very good area for high school lacrosse. On the ground. Ooh, absolutely pummeled. For Carthage was 45, Andrew Fry. Glad to see he's back at full strength. Had a tough hit against him in one of their recent contests. Was able to bounce back. Numbers. Goal. Again. Number 41. Rinse and repeat. Colin Poitras comes away with another goal. Carthage up 2-1 now. About 4.5 minutes into this blustery day, to say the least. And so let it be said that it's not necessarily that snow is falling. It's the wind conditions are really, we'll just say, making it fun. I am thankful for being in the booth. Also, timeout on the field. We'll take it with them. 2-1, Firebirds lead over Albion on the Firebird Broadcasting Network. We're back on the Firebird Broadcasting Network. I'm Peter Ferreri. The snow continues to fall. I do appreciate some fans in the stands have their umbrellas, because I definitely brought mine just for the walk-in and, was expecting some looks, but I said, hey, when it's coming down like this, it's glorified rain, and I need to be able to make it up to the booth. Albion comes away with the face-off, and holding it on it now for the Britons is Pasevic, excuse me. So each team having a fairly even amount of possession so far. Haney, the freshman out of East Lansing, definitely has the height advantage over Smilenik, the 5'6" junior. However, Smilenik just a wrecking ball defensively. You may try to get close, but you're not breaking through. And when a misguided pass out of play, and the Firebirds able to pick it up defensively. So something else fun to note, of course, is when you look at the players on the field. Okay, what are they wearing? Some players wearing the sweats, some players wearing the long sleeve shirts, other in the lane. Numbers now favor the Britons. Firebirds, Birchfield trying to give a ride. Outs, in, down, save! Gartner with a point-blank save. Beautiful job as Brock Yabs, the junior out of DeWitt, Michigan, just cruised his way down the field, fighting against the ride, and was able to successfully get a shot off. So I know the half circle for the goal, a little hard to see under these conditions, so we'll let you know if anything comes close. Johnson, quick shot in Birchfield. That goes far. Reset of the shot clock, and that should stay with the Firebirds. It does. It actually stopped point blank right before the sideline. So I believe Alec Gurn dove, had a Briton fall over him, but it actually didn't go out of play. But hey, the hustle is what matters, because then his teammate was able to pick it up. So top of the half circle, trying to get things together now. Back to Birchfield, 35 on the shot clock. Handing off to Kroc. Gurn back in. Shoulder pump fake. And they're going to say line violation. So as we talked about, so the officials are going to have a conversation now, because Andrew Johnson is pointing that he thinks it was a goal. Before the line, it was not. So the back official called goal, but the official right on the line said, nope, line, infraction. So good call. We just discussed with you, the viewers along with us or listening at home. First off, thank you. But we will let you know when it comes close to the line, if we are able to see it. Again, when you have the cleanup of the field, sometimes the painting of the line comes with it on the non-permanent line. So again, a beautiful multi-purpose field here at Art Keller Field. Men's and women's soccer, men's and women's lacrosse, and of course football. So football being the permanent lines, soccer the semi-permanent lines, and lacrosse are added on during the season. The red markings for the women's lacrosse, semi-permanent as well in the red. The women's lacrosse program, of course, at Carthage, having a great season of their own. A lot of support for the lacrosse programs, as there are with all athletics here at Carthage College. Albion now near side. It looks like a soft man defense right now for Carthage. Again, that staunch defense defensively taken away by Carthage. We're just going to compliment how well they've done. Making the sprint. Ben Kroc. Johnson. Down. Shot attempt. Blocked away. Well, the Britons absolutely came to play in these conditions. Again, being from Michigan themselves and part of the MIAA conference, you know, they're used to some tough opponents, such as Calvin, Hope, Trine, Kalamazoo. You know, MIAA is an absolutely stellar conference in its own right. Again, the lead 2-1. Shot down. Gartner knocks it away. Possession stays. And that's going to hit the pipe and ricochet back to the 40-yard line. So it's a good factor for us to use when there are the football lines. Might as well utilize them for visual purposes. Again, orange ball, kind of hard to pick up on the broadcast, so we'll talk you through it as much as possible. And that one goes just out of play, not able to run it down, was Cal Stearns. Marcus Haney checks off. Ethan Rotel in the game as well, along with defender Will Tesson. And timeout looks to be called. So with 3:51 remaining in the first, the Firebirds still have a slim lead, 2-1. We'll be back, Firebird Broadcasting Network. We're back, Firebird Broadcasting Network. Thank you for joining us. For those that chose to stay at home or maybe in the stands listening to us on the Firebird Broadcasting Network, welcome. 2-1 lead, Firebirds. Goals scored so far, both by Poitras for the Firebirds, with one assist by Gurn, his other goal unassisted. 3 saves for Gartner, 4 saves for the Britons' goalkeep. That, of course, being number 16, Gagonis. Gagonis out of Birmingham, Michigan. Taken away, shot clock resets. Good job as Gagonis tries to clear it. 2-time All-State third-team pick who captained the Bloomfield Hills squad his senior year. Prep awards included Defensive Player of the Year in 17 and Intensity in 18. Member of the Fellowship of Christian Athletes. Son of Tom and Cheryl. Appeared in 16 games, Gagonis last season, starting 9, had a record of 8-1. Albion just looking for something offensively, and that's going to be a goal. A very tough angle, but able to find the back of the net for the Britons. Marcus Haney, the freshman out of East Lansing, with an outstanding job. Just as we were talking about how strong defensively they had been. In the goal, Haney, his 6th goal of the year. He's played in all 8 games himself, so we're tied at 2. Face off 1, and possession goes to that of Albion. Saved away by Gartner. Good job. As just like that. Oh, that's going to be a grounder. Got to be careful. Here comes from behind. Taking a long stab at it to no avail was Poitras. Now taken away right back by the Firebirds as Poitras sets up. Looking back at X's Johnson. Searching to the near side. Nothing there. Back up to the top. Long range shot. Birchfield from way downtown. Absolute cannon fire from about 15 yards out. Held back and fired. I am sure his mom Ingrid is all smiles as she was able to have see baby Birchfield deliver a now 3rd goal for the Firebirds. Welcome back, Firebird Broadcasting Network. We thank you for joining us. If you are experiencing some technical issues, we do have a note. We are currently experiencing some intermittent technical issues with our streaming provider. So if you want to see the whole game in its entirety without any of those hiccups currently, head over to the Carthage Athletics YouTube page for an uninterrupted stream of the game. So again, if the stream of which you are currently watching is hiccuping at times, head over to the Carthage YouTube channel where we are doing a simulcast for the same game. Again, Carthage Athletics YouTube page. Or if you are on the current page where you are watching, you can scroll and get that simulcast link. So again, I will mention that later on for those that are joining us at a later time. So thank you for joining us. Thank you for sticking with us. Head over to YouTube if you are having any coverage issues of this game. So quarter number 2, 3-2, your score. Poitras having goals 26 and 27. Quick pass inside. Having the stick knocked from behind and taken away. Good challenge defensively by Johnson. As he gets hit from behind, he maintains possession, and there's going to be a flag. So somebody will be hitting the bench after that shot. Oh, my goodness. From downtown, the Fry guy, Andrew Fry, firing on all cylinders. Carthage's lead, the Archer, extends it 4-2. What a shot. It's one of those things when you're a goalie and you see your opponent being of the caliber of one Andrew Fry, who that is his 21st goal of the year, be able to be 15 yards away, and you just see him take that little bit of a hop step to line up to fire as hard as he could. Where do you block? Where do you put your body? Because you know that he's got his eye on a certain position, and you're not going to be able to adjust. So you as a goalie, you're just committing to that one area. So Gagonis probably said, okay, well, at least I'll limit the near side. Fry went far. Fry found the goal. So flurries continue on here in Kenosha. 4-2 now. Now, Albion was able to answer back very quickly on goals 1 and 2. Goal 1 was almost within 15 seconds off of the face-off. So we'll see where things go this time around. As Albion now would like to answer back. Albion taking their time, down to 35 on the shot clock. Down to 10. Trying to go backhand, goes back to X. Less than 10 seconds. Can the Britons even get a shot off? Near side, on the ground, and that shot clock will expire. So Rotel, the attacker from Canton, Michigan, was just kind of stuck back at X. Couldn't find an outlet pass or an outlet for him to just make a run of his own. Outstanding defense. That is as silly as it may sound, as early as it is in the game, that is a season-type defining defensive stand. Albion can score and score at will, and you just held them to not even an attempt at the end of that shot clock. So great job by Carthage defensively to hold Albion, because as we stated, Albion had the answer to answer back with the first 2 goals. Weren't able to do so with the third. Almost had a chance for the equalizer right before quarter 1 ended. Making a run, the defender. Oh, kick save and a beauty by Gartner as that matriculates away. Shooting in the lefty. Brings the Britons back to within one. Cal Stearns, the freshman out of Midland, Michigan. What a shot on his behalf. Stearns his 13th goal on the season now. His 8th appearance on the year. We know Albion has the opportunity and the skill set to deliver the goals. On the year 12, 16, 17, 20, 15, 17, and then finally cooled off against Kenyon just a few days ago on the 19th with only 8 goals. So their lowest offensive output on the year. So you know they want to come back. There were some questions about, being a non-conference game. Do you play through this game or not? Both teams, we want to get this game in. So, conditions aside, you have two teams that are looking to make some noise in their respective conferences. Huge yard sale across the middle. The Britons on fire. A stick still lives in the middle. We're waiting to see if somebody picks it up. Finally, an official does. And just kind of flicks it off to the side like, okay, somebody come get the stick. I believe it was broken half. Yeah, the trainer puts it off to the side. That stick was severed in half. You don't see that often. Last time these teams met, Feb the 17th, 2019. So 4 years since they last met up, and that was a 15-10 Carthage victory. Timeout, 9:30 remaining until half. Carthage a slim 4-3 lead against the Britons of Albion. We'll return on the Firebird Broadcasting Network. We're back, Firebird Broadcasting Network. I'm Peter Ferreri. Thank you, as always, for joining us. Again, we want to remind everybody, if you are having some intermittent connectivity issues, we're currently experiencing a technical issue with the streaming provider. So if you'd like, head over to the Carthage Athletics YouTube channel, where it is a current uninterrupted simulcast of the exact same game you're seeing now. So again, if you're having issues, head on over. So a stick hits the ground as well. Calling for it now was Stearns, who has one of the goals. Stearns absolutely leveled. Helmet falls off. Stearns is on the ground. That is a penalty, and here comes the athletic trainer. So Max Kruger looked to have just planted Cal Stearns, and Stearns now jogs off on his own. So everybody quickly took a knee. And we will see what, so coming off is Max Kruger. Waiting to see what the official booking is going to be. Likely a dangerous cross check. So full 2 minutes called. It's going to be, cross check. I was more focused on the player than the signaling of the official. So my best guess at that circumstance was cross check. So winds continue to head east to southeast. Again, the lake right behind us, that one knocked away. Flags are down. Usually the flags in the distance can kind of give away as well. But Old Glory is pointing directly at the lake. Far off to the left behind the scoreboard. The goalposts for the football field kind of leading to that as well. Another whistle. Multiple flags as Albion is fist pumping as there seems to be 56 seconds remaining on the cross check against Kruger, and now being penalized will be Josh Flores. He'll be booked for 30. Delay of game called on Flores. So checking back in is Cal Stearns. It is a two-man advantage for the Britons for 30 seconds. Can the Britons find the back of the net? There's that screen, far side. That one's going to go off into the distant snow. 13 seconds remaining in the double advantage. There's that crisp passing, bounce shot and goal. Britons tie it up. Sam Pashevic, the senior out of Metawan, Michigan, ties it up. Carthage had a 4-2 lead. And one at a time, Albion answers back. Sam Pashevic gets his 22nd goal of the season. And face-off won by the Britons. So less than ideal circumstances for the Firebirds. Pashevic in 2020 finished second on the team, scoring in 19 games on the shortened season. 2022 appeared in all 20 games and was MIAA Player of the Week the second week of April. Ground ball. Carthage has not trailed in today's game, but they've been tied every step of the way. Biggest lead was that 4-2 lead. That was a whistle. Wasn't sure where the whistle came from, though. Holding on to it now midfield is Chad Burton out of Commerce Township, Michigan. Walled Lake Northern High School. We may have the officials chat for a second. I believe possession is with Carthage, but is currently in the stick of a Briton. Officials for today's game: Eric Trapp, Robert Buckley, and Robert Knapp. Sounds like a law firm. Trapp, Buckley, and Knapp. 6:20 remaining until halftime. We expected a lower scoring game. Was talking with some of the staff and other employees and those in attendance before the game, kind of their thoughts of what to predict. We did predict a lower scoring game just because, again, with the conditions, you know, you have to remember from our vantage point, sure, everything is green. But when you are field level, you're staring into white. The ground all around the field is white. The background of the netting is white. So you are, all you're seeing is the outline of the orange piping for the goal. And therefore, maybe not as many shots on mark. Shades of, some earlier NFL games, being that you had a Cincinnati Bengals versus Buffalo Bills playoff game where Cincinnati was wearing the all whites, and that was a topic of conversation. To that, I said Buffalo played Miami, the Dolphins, a few weeks prior, where Miami was in all whites, and it was to their detriment. So, either way, we sit at fours. Players trying to warm up as the officials still having a lengthy conversation off to the side. Guess while we have a moment, we'll talk about what is up and coming for these squads. The men's team, after today's red-out game, will head to Concordia, Wisconsin on Wednesday the 29th before they're back home April the 1st and April the 8th for the start of CCIW play, as on April 1st, a week from today, they take on Elmhurst University, and then are back here April the 8th against Transylvania University. So after all of that, I'm not sure if I'll get an official ruling on the play. But there is the whistle, and possession will be with Carthage. And there's 20 seconds remaining on the penalty for Max Kruger. So the Firebirds will take their time to ride out that 20 seconds. So that way they will have a full strength opportunity to regain the lead. Nice kneeling save by Gagonis. He is almost single-handedly keeping this Albion team in play. 7th save for Gagonis. Pass to the near side. Carthage has numbers. Looking ahead. Thinking about the shot. Passing off. Andrew Johnson pump fakes. Decides to shoot anyways. That ricochets out of play. So not sure if that'll be marked a save for Gagonis. But nonetheless, now with a 60-second shot clock, Firebirds look to regain the lead after being tied 4-4 for a few minutes now. Point blank. Oh! Poked in the air. And swatted down like a fly trap. Outstanding job by Gagonis. I mean, Andrew Johnson literally could have high-fived Gagonis and wasn't able to find the back of the cage. Ground ball. Flicked ahead. Whistle is going to go the way of the Firebirds. Let's see if they make him reset up. They don't. And they are. So the far official said play on. The near official said, no, you have to reset. So not happy about that particular call. It was Poitras because he's like, hey, we had the advantage if you would have let us play on. But nonetheless, 4:31 on the clock until halftime. Score tied 4-4. We'll be back. Firebird Broadcasting Network. Welcome back to snowy Art Keller Field in Kenosha, as the Firebirds of Carthage College are tied with the Britons of Albion 4 apiece. Again, we want to remind everybody, if you happen to be experiencing any intermittent technical issues, our streaming provider has advised us to switch over to the YouTube channel. So again, if you want an uninterrupted stream, head over to Carthage Athletics YouTube channel, the link on the webcast page currently. Top of the point now, Birchfield. He took a long-range shot to get one of the 4 goals for Carthage, so not afraid to fire. Near side, back to Birchfield, he kind of goes no look. That'll reset for Johnson. Not the worst idea, is both offensively and defensively, the two squads kind of flat-footed on this possession. So let's just try for the long-range shot. We know Johnson is back at X. Just to kind of move things around. Bounce! Shot! Goal! Colin Poitras on point. Bang! Carthage regains the lead, 5-4. So Alec Gurn is going to be credited with the goal. Poitras with the assist. Poitras with another point. So he's still on point. Carthage leads 5-4. So as we discussed, Carthage has not trailed at any point in the game. However, every time Carthage has scored, Albion has found a way back, whether answering immediately back or slowly back. So yellow going to be called. Waiting to see. Looks like it's going to be on Carthage. Shot fired, kicked away by Gartner, who's getting the start in the cage today. And it looks like, well, actually, I'm going to wait to see who officially does take a knee for the Firebirds after the yellow. And it looks to be number 9, Diego Smilenik. So Smilenik is kind of pleading his case to his coaching staff, like, hey, the guy's head was down, or my head was down, but nonetheless, Smilenik gonna take 60 seconds and retie the shoe. Another advantage for Albion, and they have taken advantage of that man-up opportunities. Last time, a 2-man-up opportunity when they scored. So when you have just those 4 defenders, not much you could do. Shot, finding the back of the net, answering back is Albion yet again. Number 38 for the Britons, Brock Yabbs, the junior, answers back. Albion tied at 5. We talked about it just preceding that goal. Not only has Albion had the opportunity to answer back every single time Carthage has taken a 1 or 2 goal lead, Carthage has shot themselves in the foot by then immediately almost having a penalty against them, giving a man-up advantage, and it just puts you at a disadvantage every time, and it immediately takes that momentum away that you got with that go-ahead goal. So Carthage, I'm sure that's something that'll be discussed at halftime, as Coach Neff is going to say, hey, we're doing a great job getting the go-ahead goal or 2. We want to be physical. We want to, command the game. However, not necessarily at the cost of immediately saying, okay, well, we're going to let them play with 1 extra person then for the next 60 seconds plus. So 2:28 remaining until halftime. Shot no good. Reset up of the shot clock now, 55 seconds. Last possession, Carthage took a long-range shot, hit the pipe, and on the reset, we're able to find the goal. Alec Gurn. Point-blank range, Andrew Johnson chirping at the defender for the Britons. And they regain the lead. Carthage up now 6-5 with 1:55 remaining in the second. Andrew Johnson regains the lead, his first goal of the afternoon. Johnson now at his 20th goal of the season. Again, Johnson back at X, one of the most lethal players in all the CCIW. As the MIAA Albion Britons are finding out with that goal. So 6-5. Albion has been able to answer back, whether it's full squad, man up, or double man advantage. Carthage comes away with it. Albion, part of the MIAA. Along with Calvin and Trine and some other schools that Carthage has, of course, played. So 30 seconds remaining until half. Albion would like to tie going into halftime. They're holding on to that final shot to not allow Carthage another opportunity of their own. So with 15 seconds, or 16 I should say, 16 seconds on the shot. Back at X, circling around, dodging, knocked away. Gartner still on the ground, back up in the air, far side with 3, with 2, with 1, and that is going to take us to halftime as just clearing it out are the Firebirds. A tough-fought battle in the elements, but Carthage leads by a mere goal, 6-5. We'll take a timeout. We'll let the players rest up. When we come back, second half action on the Firebird Broadcasting Network. We're back, Firebird Broadcasting Network. Thanks for joining us. Firebirds lead 6-5. I'm Peter Ferreri, and already a yellow 6 seconds into the second half. So fans are still going to matriculate their way back out into the stands. Goal scored! 20 seconds into the second half. A quick fire. On the right side, you still have some bench players for the teams off in the distance, making their way back onto the sideline. And just like that, Albion gets the tying goal by Brock Yabs. So Yabs, his 11th goal on the season. His second goal today. So his 12th goal on the season. So tied at 6. Albion again, we discussed 4-3 on the year. 1-4, won their first 4, lost their next 3. So we'll either drop to 500 in non-conference play, or will find their way. A kick save off to the side by Gartner. Carthage 6-1 themselves. Their last game against Benedictine, a 21-14 victory. They're on a 4-game win streak. The Eagles actually began of Benedictine up 2-1 until the Firebirds rattled off 6 unanswered goals. Another goal! Albion takes the lead. Number 4, Cal Stearns finds the back of the net. Albion, their first lead of the afternoon, as the flurries start to dissipate, as did the lead for Carthage. A minute and 20 seconds into the second half, Carthage now trails 7-6 as Albion gets 2 goals in less than 90 seconds. Definitely an unexpected outcome. Right out of half, the conversation I had with you, the viewer, was Carthage, seemingly had control of the first half, but kept with self-inflicting wounds. With 1- and 2-man disadvantages would allow Albion to quickly score and get back in it. This is not the case in the second half. As just like that, Albion leads. And at no point did Albion lead in the first half. In the air, on the ground, taken away. Gagonis. And Albion will be on the offensive yet again. So just to clarify, that yellow was a face-off violation. Kind of shrugging on that was Eric Freeman. As he gets cross-checked to the ground, maintains possession. So Albion just absolutely leveled Andrew Fry. But Fry bounces back up. Thought about the near side. Good slide defensively by Albion. Albion taking a more zone coverage this time around. There's the bounce angle he was looking for, he being Ben Kroc. So Kroc looked for that angle prior, but the slide dissipated that angle. Kroc can take that tough angled shot. Does again there, and that'll be ricocheted and go way off towards Sheridan Avenue. And they're saying violation, believe that's going to be called against Poitras, as he was right in front of the goal. So Albion once again with possession. As Gagonis just continues on his saving ways, his 11th save. Another goal by Albion. The defense of Carthage having no answers for this Albion attack. A third goal in less than 3 full minutes. 11:18. 11:18 in the remaining in the third. It was 6-5 at the 15-minute mark. So Carthage will now get possession. As discussed prior to halftime, Carthage at no point trailed. They were tied almost every step of the way. 1-1, 2-2, 4-4, 5-5. Took that lead before half to make it 6-5, but 3 unanswered. Bounce shot, saved again. Swatted down, ground ball, scoop, and score. Answering right back, Alec Gurn. So shout out to Gurn, give him the hustle goal. It was a shot, a save, but then hit the ground, and I believe one of the defenders for the Britons, number 31, Parker McFarlane, had gotten possession, but Gurn was just a half step behind, swatted it out of the stick, hit the ground, and instead of picking it up, just golfed it in, as the goalkeeper Gagonis was just not ready for a half-second shift from offense to defense. Let alone seeing, okay, it bounced on the ground, and then Gurn was already cocked back and again took a golf swing at it, and it worked. So Carthage back within 1. Spinning around. Far side. Jake Westland looking for the near side. Thinks about it. Passes it one more time. Johnson blocked back at X. Johnson pump fake to Westland. Back to X to Poitras. Good defense this sequence by Albion. The lane was there. Westland didn't want to take it. Back to Westland. That's going to be a save. A shoulder charge. But nonetheless, ride unsuccessful. Albion now running in, shooting. High save, and it comes to the near sideline. And that'll be Carthage possession. So sticking his stick out was George Mo Broughton. And again, it's not whoever gets to the sideline first. It's who's closest to the sidelines when the ball goes out of play. And Mo Broughton, with the heads-up play, shot, goal, high cheese for number 45, Andrew Fry. The Archer delivers again. Just like that, Carthage has retied it at 8 apiece. Andrew Fry with another goal, his second on the day. So a bunch of twos across the board now. Gurn, Poitras, and Fry with 2 apiece. Johnson and Birchfield with 1. So just as Albion went on a 3-goal unanswered streak, it's now been 2 in a row for the Firebirds. There were comments being said. Let's see. I can't even get a breath out. Another goal by Albion. What a flurry and fury of goals in this second half. So that goal will be number 30, Jace Conley, the 5th-year senior out of Orchard Lake St. Mary High School. And Albion regains the lead. It was 6-5 at half. Albion has now scored 4 in less than 7 minutes. Carthage scoring 2 since halftime. So a 4-2 run for Albion, but Carthage has it now. But anyway, with the statement I was trying to make was there was a lot of talk in the press box at halftime of how, visibility on the field was very challenging. Well, the snow, you could see still some snowflakes coming by, but much, and double yellows coming out. But the visibility is much better now. So it's still windy, but there's just less precipitation, to put on my meteorologist hat. So less precipitation, so therefore better visibility. You're trying to run through while cradling with the snow whipping at your face along with the wind and then still try to find the back of the cage. Easier said than done. So 30 seconds booked for Freeman for pushing. So extra man opportunity for Carthage. Can they take advantage? Zone defense. Back to X. Near side, point blank goal! It is an absolute goal party as Carthage's George Birchfield gets his second goal. From the south suburbs of the greater Chicagoland area, Birchfield nails it home. Fun tidbit to note in the home goal, you have Gartner actually running through some sequences right now just to keep himself warm and ready to go. So again, just because the precipitation is slowed down doesn't mean it's still not cold out there. So especially the goalkeeper's going to have to continually do anything they can to keep themselves warm. So with 7:25 in the third, it is tied at 9-9. An onslaught of goals by both teams, a 4-3 run. Long-range shot, Gartner with the save. He just practiced that move. Good ride by Albion as Carthage tries to clear. Passing to the far side as Carthage now sets up their attack. Johnson. Shot, bounces, high save. Good job defensively by Gagonis as Ben Kroc tried for the mid-range bounce shot, but Gagonis was able to get the stick up in time. Pass, dropping it on the ground. Ground ball up in the air. Possession, shot. The goals continue. Number 2, San Pacific. You thought after the ground ball that it was anybody's opportunity. Pacific was in a full sprint from the far sideline and just midair grabbed it, took another step, shot, fire, goal. Albion takes the lead again. It was 6-5 at halftime. If you're just joining us in the second half, welcome. It was 3-2 in the first, then 3 goals apiece in the second. It's already 5 for Albion in the third to Carthage's 3. So in the face-off circle we go. On the ground, coming away with it for Carthage is Joey Workman, the workhorse in the circle for the Firebirds. Shooting down, hitting the back of the net though. The angle was there. Alec Gurn just couldn't find the home. Breaking through the ride on a full sprint is Albion. Dodging around, ricochets, no good. Robbie Dameron out of Macomb, Michigan wanted to take it all the way. He had the shot. So Gartner with 14 saves, Gagonis with 15 of his own. Shuffles, shoots, scores, 5-hole, number 3, Marcus Haney out of East Lansing High School extends the lead even further for Albion as they're now up 11-9. Wouldn't be surprised if Carthage at some point calls for a timeout as it's a 6-3 second half run. Again, we discussed Albion, a very good squad, but on a 3-game losing streak. So you look at it one of two ways. Is this a situation where you have, for example, Albion, they're on their heels. They've lost 3 in a row. If you're Carthage, okay, well, they can get their 4th loss at our hands. On the flip side, you say, okay, they've lost 3 in a row. They've circled this one on their calendar as this is the game where we come back and get out of this little losing streak. Andrew Johnson fires too far. I believe it's going to stay with Carthage. But right now in overall standings, Trine's at the top at 7-0, Kalamazoo at 4-2, with Albion right behind at 4-3, and then a log jam of Adrian, Calvin, and Hope all at 4-4. So if you're Albion, you want to stay out of that situation by any means necessary of having, adding to the log jam. Mind you, it's not conference play. But you want the mental fortitude to say, hey, you know, we are that step ahead of these 500 teams in our conference, and it's just that mental confidence. Strong ride on the ground. Goalie way out of it. Johnson in point blank Birchfield. Gagonis caught absolutely trapped in no man's land at the near sideline. Had it swiped away by Johnson. He finds a streaking Birchfield, able to split the defenders. And Gagonis knows that he got a bit too far in uncharted waters. It is 11-10. Carthage back to within 1. The snow is almost completely stopped here in Kenosha, but the goals keep raining in. I'm losing track. Number 12, Eddie Simons out of Heritage High School. Another goal for Albion. They extend their lead back to 2, 12-10. We talked about the methodical pace of quarters 1 and 2. Not the case in quarter number 3. The snow stopped and the goals have heated up. 4-1-1 on the clock. 7-4 run in the goal differential. Albion over Carthage. Looking at some of the numbers too, Carthage have outscored their opponents in the third, 34-24. The second being the biggest differential, 40-18. But in the fourth, a 5-goal differential, 29-24. So Carthage has had such a successful season so far in non-conference play. Albion just pouring it on. Looking at some of the numbers, I feel if I look down at the stat sheet for a blink, there's going to be another goal. But in their only loss this year against Hope, it was a 13-11 loss. They, again, only scoring 11. They're 1 away from that mark in their loss. And every victory this year, they scored at least 12. So bringing it up was Freeman as he hands off. So Albion will have another attempt to extend their lead now to 3. They've had it as high as 2 for a few opportunities here in the third. Haven't made it 3. Would love to do so here. This men's squad has not lost at home yet this year. 2-0 at home. Albion looking to change that fate as well. Running by, and Gartner able to pick up the pieces on that short side shot attempt. 2:20 remaining in the third. Albion leads by 2. Johnson now on the near side calling for it. Carthage, however, resets up their attack with Ben Kroc. Holding it now is Fry. Checking back in is Westland on the near side. Back to the top. Back to X to Johnson. He gets swarmed. Along the middle, that'll stay Carthage. Minute 39 remaining. Long range shot again. Johnson having to run that down. There's been some quick shots in this sequence. 20 seconds left. Back to X to Johnson. Johnson, near side. Being chased is Westland. Back to Johnson. Back to Westland. We have 10. Carthage has time for another shot. Long range shot. Kick save. resetting the shot clock because it hit the goalkeeper, Gagonis. Shooting near side, Johnson still on point. Gagonis getting a workout on this sequence. So 59 seconds remaining in the third. 49 was on the shot clock at the point of that reference. Shot way off the mark. Was Alec Gurn, 33 on the shot clock now, 9-second difference. Firing, good save, Gagonis. As Albion has 30 seconds to try to get one more shot of their own. Oh, it's a yard sale. From behind, passing in. Gurn, Johnson loses it. Gagonis scoops it up. Oh, Johnson turned his head too quickly. That would have been a point-blank goal to bring the Carthage Firebirds within one. Oh, what a lucky turn of events. But nonetheless, with 4, with 3, with 2, and with 1, we will end the third with Albion now leading 12-10 after a 7-4 run in the third. A pivotal fourth quarter coming your way very shortly on the Firebird Broadcasting Network. Don't go anywhere. We return for the final quarter of this non-conference matchup between the Britons of Albion College and the Carthage College Firebirds. We thank you for joining us. I'm Peter Ferreri. Again, one final reminder, if you are having some intermittent issues, jump over to the Carthage College Athletics YouTube channel for a quick and easy stream option on the simulcast. And there's the 11th goal. Colin Poitras, 19 seconds. What took him so long? With the quickness that these two teams have scored at, my goodness. You may say to yourself, if you're just joining us, 12-11, not that high scoring of an affair, maybe, based on what we've seen. With the site conditions in the first quarter alone and into the second, you would say to yourself, well, surprised that they were able to see it all. But the reason that bears mentioning is the second that subsided during halftime, it has been a score fest throughout the second half. So, you know, the Britons still have 2 more non-conference games. They head back home to Albion to take on Southwestern University and North Central College before heading to Grand Rapids, Michigan to take on the Calvin University squad April the 8th. So they're still not out of the woods yet of non-conference play. But the reason I wanted to mention that is, you know, they have done a remarkable job taking every opportunity they could, man up, double man up opportunities, getting the goal. You know, you're on paper, okay, you're a man up, get the goal. They have. And then on the flip side, they have then just started scoring at will in the third. Now, Carthage back to within 1, looking for the equalizer of their own. Don't want to discredit that many teams can say, oh, man, this other team's coming back. They're on a run of their own. You know, lacrosse is such a game of momentum and runs. But Carthage has stayed within distance. Yeah, Albion was getting some 2-for-1s, but now Carthage back to within 1. As that one rolls way to the other side, Albion running quickly. Behind the back, pass, shot, goal. Oh, my goodness, Ethan Rotel. My word, what a beautiful highlight reel behind the back, no-look pass. Albion comes back on top, the assist. Jace Connolly, if you had the privilege of watching that in real time, all excitement for Rodel out of Canton, Michigan, Plymouth High School. My goodness. Conley was on the near side pipe, staring it down, passed behind the back to a wide open Rodel. sliding down. So just as Carthage was about to tie it, a quick turn of events, a mishandle by Johnson turns into a goal by Albion, 13-11. So the Britons regain their 2-goal lead at a snowy, chilly day in Kenosha. Pass inside. Ooh, just a bit too far. Who's able to get there? Carthage might actually have that. And they're saying it stays with Albion. So both officials agree. As Rodel up in the air, ground ball. Who's to come away with it? Rugby scrum. 5-6 players able to come away with the pieces is Pacific. Shot, save, point blank, bounce back, and another goal. The Britons now pouring it on. Number 30, Jace Connolly, who had the highlight reel pass on the last possession. It was a beautiful save by Gartner. However, it just ricocheted off of Gartner to where Connolly was standing. Pick up, scoop, and score. A 3-goal lead for Albion College, their largest of the afternoon. A 9-5 run if you go back to the 6-5 1-goal lead at halftime. Albion again. That time number 10, Eric Freeman, the senior out of Romeo High School, teammate of Ryan Meldrum. The Firebirds have no answer here in the fourth. A 7-4 differential in the third for Albion. A 3-1 differential already in the fourth. A 10-5 run as Albion is now pouring it on. Timeout called. Carthage needs it. Can they find an answer? Down by 4 in the fourth. We'll find out on the Firebird Broadcasting Network. We're back. Firebird Broadcasting Network. I'm Peter Ferreri. Thanks for joining us. It has been all Albion in this second half. Mind you, of course, it's not as if the Firebirds have played a poor game. It is just Albion has been hitting the back of the net with each and every shot, it seems, in the second half. And the few shots they've missed have bounced back into a teammate's stick, and they've scored off of that. So, bit of an ankle-breaking move by Albion. Looking for the dodge, going back inside. Top of the key. Strong defense still, down to 15 seconds. Swatted down. Golfed away. Albion picks it back up. Just about 5 seconds remaining with 3, with 2, with 1, and that'll change the possession. Now is the time, if you are a Carthage Firebird fan, to get on your feet and cheer, because Carthage needs all the help they can to try to come back. I mean, we talked about the score and how at halftime it was 6-5 Carthage. And you may say to yourself, well, Peter, it's a 1-goal difference. But it truly was, I don't want to say dominated. It favored. The first half truly favored that of the Firebirds. And Albion got, I believe, 2, if not 3 of their 5 goals on advantages because Carthage was committing too many penalties. That allowed, though, Albion to stay within striking distance. And then when the snow stopped, as said, they just started scoring and scoring at will. And they've scored 10 goals since halftime. And there's not much Carthage has been able to do to stop it or answer back. Back to X, Johnson. This is a very good non-conference test. Shoot, hits the pipe, and ricochets near side. Resetting of the shot clock. But the reason I say that is, the CCIW is a very tough conference. And a game like this prepares you for it, as does the straight-on goal for Andrew Fry. The archer delivers another bullseye to the back of the cage. Albion's lead cut to 3. But if you are the Firebirds, as an old coach said in college lacrosse, they always took the mindset with their team, make it, take it. Can they get the face-off to maintain this little bit of momentum they may have gotten from that goal? If not, you have a Albion team that would be more than happy to wither out the shot clock, and Albion comes away with it. Eddie Simons. Great job now with the left-hand cradle back to the near side. So now it's a situation, full shot clock, where Albion can do the 2-for-1 deal. They can not only dwindle the shot clock and the game clock as much as possible, but take some shots in the final 10, 20 seconds to add on. That's why it is so important to get possession, especially this late in the game, and for the team that's trailing. I mean, of course you want to get possession off of a face-off if you're winning or losing. But if you're the winning team, same as in basketball, you're just going to, if you're winning by a few points nearing the end of the game and you get a rebound, you're just able to milk that shot clock. And with the shot bouncing off of Gartner, it resets the shot clock for Albion. Albion to the near side. Less than 30. Spin around. Kick save up in the air. Oh my goodness. Albion might get another reset of the shot clock. And they do. Oh my goodness. This might be a 3-second run off the game clock. Shot high. I'm actually surprised Albion took that shot, as they're able to run it down. And the only reason I say that is, up by 3 and you're just taking minutes upon minutes off the clock, not to say a detriment, but again, it's a similar situation to basketball. If you're up by a basket or two, saved and out of play, that'll stay with Albion. But if you're up by a few points, you don't want to take that shot early in the shot clock and give possession back to your opponent. You want to do that 2-for-1 deal, use as much of the shot clock as possible. I actually had a good conversation. I'm fortunate enough to speak to a lot of different college coaches at the lacrosse level, men's and women's, and they say very often they use the analogies in gameplay to that of basketball because it's setting up your offense, setting up your defense, making substitutions accordingly, trying to score in a given period of time, offensively, pick and rolls, screens, a lot of the similar terminology. Slides defensively on who has the ball. Johnson now, as Carthage finally gets possession with just over 6.5 remaining. Albion comes away in the lane. Tough ride, but breaking through to the other side is Pacevic. Pacevic gets swatted once, twice, 3 times. Passes point blank. Goal! Pacevic weathered the storm and was able to pass in, and a point-blank range shot, goal, Eric Freeman. Albion extends their lead back to 4, 16-12. So 4-goal lead now extended. We just talked about how not only not only was this Firebird squad in needing of possession, but they weren't winning any faceoffs and lose another faceoff there. Albion has just dominated, for all intents and purposes, most of this second half. Still on the ground. 5, 6 players around the scrum. Swatted down, still in the air. Taken away by the Firebirds. Misguided pass, running it down, still on the ground. Good job defensively. Fancy stick work by number 31, Parker McFarland, out of Ann Arbor, Michigan. Not often you compliment the defenders, a thankless job, but fancy stick work to get that possession. Albion now has numbers. Shot, save. Shocked he didn't pass it off that one more time. That being number 38, Brock Yapp. So Brock Yapp's had a teammate standing at the right foot of Gartner, but took the shot himself. Gartner came away with the save. Gartner, 20 saves. That is a lot of shots in general, let alone to have 20 saves. Time dwindling down. Carthage needs to score and take multiple times. Again, non-conference matchup. But Birchfield takes the long-range shot. Save. Gagonis mishandles the clear. He had 2 situations earlier, but ground ball taken away now, as Albion likely now to just try to run out the clock. Unless they do exactly the opposite. Bounce. Goal. Score. Frustration. Josh Flores hits the stick on the ground, and Albion extends their lead to 5. A 12-6 run for Albion in the second half. Timeout called. Albion hyped up. We'll take it with them. We'll come back. 5-goal lead for Albion. 4:26 remaining in the contest on the Firebird Broadcasting Network. We're back, Firebird Broadcasting Network, 17-12, your score. Thank you for joining us. I'm Peter Ferreri. Carthage has not been able to have many answers in the second for Albion. One of their last hopes right here on this possession. Pass back to X. Johnson looking near side. Birchfield goes low, bounces back. That possession will stay with Johnson and the Firebirds. 3:50 on the clock. Back to the top. Birchfield is not afraid to take those long-range shots. Left side goal. Pump fake. Fist bump. Bang. 45, Andrew Fry, the Archer, finds another goal. He is having himself a day. Fry's 4th goal. Firebirds back to within 4. Now, I said they needed it here, or it was pretty much all but done. Now, 4 goals is still a lot. However, if they can get this face-off, they stay in it. If not, might be dire times. They get the face-off. Workman, far side. Switching around. So holding on to possession now is Poitras. Shot, stick actually hits one of the Albion players, I think in the back of the neck. Possession to stay with the Firebirds. Birchfield. Super long range shot. Is it going to count? So Birchfield pleading his case right now as he thinks it should be a goal. But I think one of the officials didn't necessarily tell his teammates so that far official now pleading his case. I guess one official blew it, but the second one said he wasn't ready. So that crucial goal will be called off. One of the officials now going to speak with head coach DeCola in his 15th year with the Britons. I'm not quite sure what the conversation is, but nonetheless, Birchfield not happy. He's pleading his case. I don't know if it's time on the clock. Officials are taking their time to make sure everything's lined up, though. Again, I am not 100% clear on the circumstance. However, just to recap, we did hear a whistle. Birchfield did shoot and score, but the back official waved it off. Birchfield, far side, shot up, no good, reset for Johnson. 3 minutes remain. Still an uphill battle nonetheless for Carthage. But again, the make it, take it mantra needs to be happening here. Near side, back to Birchfield. Goes top to Johnson. 2 players back at X. Clamping down defense is Albion. Birchfield dodges. Has it taken away. They're saying possession, Carthage, and a reset of the shot clock. 2:36 remaining. I believe they're saying that the check was, I'm not quite sure, but I believe it might have been too high. They're saying it's a turnover. Back to Birchfield. He's taken some long-range shots all day. Tough defense, and a flag's going to be pulled. Alec Gurn, very slow to get up as the cross-check right between the shoulder blades sent Gurn to the ground in short order. So a frantic pace of scoring in the third and fourth has now slowed down tremendously as Will Tesson, the sophomore out of Marvin Ridge High School, is now booked for 30. Save up Gagonis as Albion now finally gets possession back. Now, you may say finally because in game clock time it wasn't that much, but in real time seemed like an eternity. Shot down. Again, not quite sure why they decided to take that shot with a 4-goal lead. Instead of just trying to ride out the game. Johnson point blank. Carpet goal. Just as I stated, the Britons could have ran out most of the remainder of the shot clock, decided to take a quick shot, ricocheted away. 20 seconds later, Carthage is within 3. So, of course, not over yet. If the Britons get, there's a conversation. You see the coach is kind of talking to the players saying, hey, look at the clock. Ride it out. So more laundry on the ground as Albion looks to take possession. So that could be all she wrote. for the Firebirds. So, again, coaching moments in these final 2+ minutes for Albion is you can now say, if you're the coaching staff, hey, we had a generous lead, but bit by bit, Carthage started coming back, and then we got a little greedy and took a shot instead of taking the opportunity to just ride out most of the remainder of the game and shot clock. You don't want to take any chances. Running to the far side. Under 60 seconds remaining now. All but over. Now's a situation where you'd say, okay, if Albion took another shot, not with 2.5 remaining and a 3-goal lead. Got to really hand it to Albion, down by but 1 in the contest at half, came out storming in the third, continued it into the fourth, and with 15 seconds left, Albion looks to just run it out. But the reason I say that is then, crucially, about a quarter of the way through this fourth quarter, they just had shot after shot after shot, and not only did they have those shots, they were getting their own deflections and ricochets and rebounds, allowing for them to continue on. So that is going to be it. This will be all she wrote. Albion defeats Carthage in Carthage's first home loss of the year, coming from behind and defeating the Firebirds 17-14. Looking at some of the final numbers, Gartner ends the day with 20 saves, as Gagonis had 21 of his own. 12 assists for Carthage to 8 of Albion. 59 shots for the Firebirds to 52 of the Britons. Ground balls favored that of Albion, 55-42. Face-offs, 5 advantage for Albion, 20-15. And 27 turnovers for Albion to that of Carthage. 4 penalties apiece for each squad. So looking ahead on the calendar, we talked about where these two teams are, where they are going. Again, the Firebirds head out of town and head to Concordia, Wisconsin University for a game on Wednesday the 29th before they're back home a week from today against Elmhurst. That game will be at 1 o'clock Central Time. Also, men's volleyball just started about 7 minutes ago, so make sure you catch that on the Firebird Broadcasting Network. Tomorrow, baseball at noon and 3, doubleheader. 1 against Lawrence, 1 against MSOE. And then, of course, next Saturday, women's water polo. But again, the Firebirds fall to Albion in a come-from-behind victory for the Britons, 17-14. On behalf of all of the crew, Michael Love, John Voinovich, the executive producer, Mark, Zoe, Haley, and Emma, the directors, graphics, and camera operators, this program has been a presentation of Carthage College Copyright 2023. Have a good rest of your Saturday.